In this project, we are testing our experimental question: to what extent does different sized swim paddles affect the speed of swimming?
Our hypothesis is if we use different sized paddles, then the large paddles will record the best swim times because of the larger propulsive areas of the hand in comparison with swimming.
You will need our independent variable is the paddle size, and our dependent is the swim times.
To do this experiment, first have the swimmers do a warm-up set, then, when finished, have them hold onto the spit wall, then set the timer and say go as you start the timer.
Ready? Go.
Hit stop as the swimmers touch the spit wall and record the times on the data table.
Through our research, we found that swim paddles help propel the swimmer. However, there's a specific size that should be used in order for the swimmer to take advantage of the maximum propulsion.
If the paddle is too large, then they will not be efficient. According to Newton's second law of motion, the acceleration of an object is dependent on the force that is used to move it forward. Depending on the paddle size, there is going to be more or less force used in order to move the object through the mass of the water.
The swimmer must release a stroke in order to receive propulsion. This event follows Newton's third law of motion, because for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. Most of the errors that occurred during our experiment were during the swim trials. Yet one error that could have altered our times were a possible reaction delay when starting and stopping the stopwatch when the swimmers began and ended each trial. Our timer may have stopped the stopwatch too early or later than the time that the swimmers fully touched the wall to finish or left the wall to begin, thus causing the times to be inaccurate. In addition to this first possible error, there were other errors that occurred during the trials. Most of the errors that occurred while the swimmers were swimming their 200 free or 8-lap trials were that there was either a completely missed turn or a weird turn that the swimmer is not comfortable with, a loose paddle that the swimmer tried to fix while swimming, or tired arms which made them slow down. All of these errors would cause the swimmer to slow down and not swim to the trial to their full potential time. As you can see with the third swimmer, she will be taking a turn that she's not comfortable with, which causes her to slow down and skew her time.
As you can see, the swimmers are going at different paces because they are wearing different sized paddles. After the swimmers touch the wall, record it on the data table as shown after this slide. As shown in the graph, the medium-sized paddles had the least amount of time.
In conclusion, we found that the medium-sized swim paddles had the fastest time throughout all 4 swimmers, thus proving our hypothesis wrong.
Thank you for watching our video on how different sized swim paddles affect the speed of swimming.